You ever been in a room full of people and realized nobody would notice if you left? Not because you're quiet,
Why don't skeletons
because
fight each other? You know,
Marcus
rabbits
learned
fight
this
each
at
other. They don't
14.
have the guts.
School cafeteria, lunch table, 7 kids talking over him like he's furniture. He tells a joke, silence. 2 seconds later, Tyler says the exact same joke. Everyone laughs. Marcus looks around, waiting for someone to say, "Hey, Marcus said that." Nobody does, because nobody heard him the first time. And that's when it clicks. He's invisible. It wasn't just once. It was everywhere. Group projects. His ideas got credited to someone else. Family dinners. His parents asked his older brother about his day, never him. Birthday parties. He'd show up and people would say, "Oh, I didn't know you were coming." He was invited, they just forgot. And here's the thing, nobody tells you about being ignored. You start to believe you deserve it. You stop raising your hand in class. Stop sharing your thoughts. Stop trying. Because why would you? Marcus became a ghost in his own life. And ghosts don't fight back. Senior year. There's this girl, Emma. She sits next to him in English, borrows his notes, laughs at his comments about the books they're reading. For 3 months, Marcus thinks maybe someone finally sees him. So he asks her to prom. She looks confused. "Oh, I thought we were just friends. I didn't even know you liked me like that." That's not what broke him. What broke him was what she said next. "I'm going with Connor. He asked me last month. I told you about it, remember?" She had told him. She'd talked at him for 20 minutes about her dress, the dinner reservations, everything. And she genuinely believed he'd been listening as her friend. Not as someone who existed. Just as someone there. Marcus stopped going to school events. Stopped sitting with people at lunch. Started eating in the library, alone. And the crazy part, nobody asked where he went. Nobody texted, "You good?" Nobody noticed. He'd scroll through Instagram, pictures of his friends at parties he wasn't invited to. Not because they hated him, because they forgot he existed. There's a special kind of pain in being forgettable. It's not bullying. You can fight a bully. It's absence. It's being a background character in everyone else's story. Even your own. Graduation comes and goes. Marcus doesn't walk, says he's sick. Nobody follows up. He gets a job at a warehouse, night shift, alone with boxes and forklifts. Perfect. One night, he's stacking pallets, and he overhears 2 coworkers talking. "Yeah, the invisible guy. What's his name again?" "Marcus, I think." "Does he even talk?" "I don't know, man, he's just there." They're not being mean. They're being honest. And that's worse. Marcus goes home that night and stares at his reflection. He doesn't cry, doesn't punch the mirror. He just stares. And he thinks, what if I disappeared tomorrow? How long would it take for someone to notice? The answer terrifies him. But here's where it gets strange. A week later, Marcus is at the warehouse and a pipe bursts. Water everywhere, machines shorting out, people panicking. The supervisor's screaming at everyone to shut off the main valve. Nobody knows where it is. Marcus does. He'd been working nights alone for 8 months. He'd learned every inch of that building because there was nothing else to do. He doesn't say anything. He just walks to the back corner, climbs under a rusted stairwell, and turns the valve. Water stops. Everyone stares. The supervisor walks over. "How'd you know that?" Marcus shrugs. "I pay attention." For the first time in his life, people look at him. Not through him. At him. And something shifts. That night, Marcus sits in his car and realizes something. Being invisible wasn't a curse. It was data. While everyone else was performing, trying to be seen, trying to be heard. He was watching. He knew things. He noticed patterns, remembered details, saw what people missed. Because when you're invisible, you're not distracted by yourself. You see everything. And for the first time, Marcus thinks, what if I used this? Not to get revenge. Not to prove people wrong. But to become someone nobody could ignore. Not because he demanded attention, but because he became indispensable. Marcus starts small. At work, he stops waiting to be noticed. He starts solving problems before they're asked. Machines breaking down. He learns maintenance. Inventory missing. He builds a tracking system on an old laptop. Shifts running behind. He reorganizes the workflow. Nobody asked him to do any of this. But suddenly, things run smoother when he's there.
Let's review the
And
safety
people
protocols
notice.
for this zone. Remember,
Not him,
proper
his
handling and
impact.
storage techniques are crucial
At
to
first,
prevent accidents.
it's just the supervisor saying good work. Then it's coworkers asking him questions. Then it's the regional manager offering him a promotion. Marcus turns it down. Because he's not done yet. He starts reading, every night. Business books, psychology, communication, systems thinking. Not to be smart. To be useful. He takes an online course in supply chain management. Another in process optimization. He learns how to code. Builds an app that automates scheduling for the warehouse. His boss doesn't even know it's him at first. One day, the regional manager visits and asks, "Who built this?" Marcus's supervisor points at him. Him, the quiet guy. Yeah, he just did it. The regional manager offers Marcus a job at corporate. Double the salary, management track. Marcus takes it. Not because he wants status. Because he's finally building something they can't ignore. 2 years later, Marcus is at a coffee shop in his old hometown. Someone taps his shoulder. It's Tyler, the guy from the cafeteria, the one who stole his joke. Marcus, holy shit, man, I heard you're doing big things. Marcus nods. Tyler laughs nervously. Dude, I barely remember high school. Crazy times, right? Marcus just looks at him. You don't remember me, do you? Tyler stumbles. I mean, yeah, we had classes together, right? We sat at the same lunch table for 3 years. Silence. Tyler forces a laugh. Oh man, my memory's terrible, but hey, we should catch up. No. Tyler blinks. Marcus doesn't say it mean, just honest. I don't need to catch up. I needed you then, not now. He leaves. And for the first time in his life, Marcus doesn't look back to see if anyone's watching. Here's what Marcus learned. Being ignored wasn't the punishment. Staying invisible was. The world didn't owe him attention. But he owed himself the refusal to disappear. Some people spend their whole lives screaming to be seen. Marcus spent his learning to build things so undeniable that silence became impossible. He didn't become loud. He became necessary. And that's different. Because loud fades. Necessary stays. If you're watching this, and you've ever felt invisible, not bullied, not hated, just unseen, know this. That feeling is information. It's telling you that the way you're showing up isn't working. And you have 2 choices. Keep waiting for people to notice you. Or become someone impossible to overlook. Not by being louder. By being better. By learning what others won't. By doing the work nobody sees. By building value so quietly that one day, they turn around and you're indispensable. Marcus didn't get revenge. He didn't prove anyone wrong. He just refused to stay a ghost. And the moment he did that, he stopped being invisible. He became inevitable. You're not too late. You're not too broken. You're not too forgettable. You're just choosing to stay hidden. So stop. Stop waiting for permission to matter. Start building something that makes ignoring you impossible. It won't happen overnight. It'll be slow, lonely, frustrating. But one day, you'll be standing in a room full of people. And they'll stop talking when you speak. Not because you demanded it. Because you earned it. That's the superpower. Not invisibility. Inevitability. Now go become it. If this hit you, don't just watch. Do something about it. The comment section's below. Tell me, when did you realize you were invisible? And what are you doing to change it? I'll read every single one.